Because why? Those who are sitting there in the second. Today, even if, let's say, for example, if you are in the mandatory sector, you have to apply for this workers' contribution. Now, applying for this workers' contribution, yes, we can get the employer to pay a certain portion if they are doing well. The balance portion, we have to get the workers to pay. Now, of course, a lot of them are saying that, why do we have to pay? Now, example, you have a worker, he's working, he earns 2,000-3,000 ringgit every month. What happens if he meets with an accident? He's hospitalized. When he's hospitalized, what happens? Let's not focus on the income loss. Let's focus on the medical costs. You got to have money for the medical costs. And then you got to have money for your daily living costs. You still have your bills to pay. Your electricity, water, loans are not going to stop because you met with the accident and you're unable to work. That is the reality of life. Now, you also have your family to look after. Some workers, they might have parents. Some workers, they might have children. Some workers, they might have in-laws, which they are the ones who are dependent on them. Who will look after them? Who will look after the elderly? Now, by paying this contribution, which is below RM1 a day, I'm not giving an exact figure because, as I said, there is a council. We will sit, we will debate, and we will find the best way moving forward. And whatever it may be is below RM1 a day. Assuming it's 50 cents or 40 cents a day. Isn't that something you feel that you should pay for yourself, for the safety of yourself, safety of your loved ones, your family, and the in-laws, and the ones that are dependent on you bringing home the bread? If we do not do that, for example, in my kawasan in Sungai Buloh, before this, a lot of the workers, they didn't have to contribute because they were not in the mandatory sector. Now, when they don't contribute, unfortunately, they meet with accidents. When they meet with accidents, they need medical fees. They need help for those fees to be paid. Their families suddenly end up in a situation whereby there's no money being put on the table for their daily expenses. And then you have further issues. For example, electricity bills which have been piling up. Now, under this insurance scheme, it looks after you. Death benefits is there. Your loss of employment, whether it's 1 month or 2 months, it is paid for you. It is covered. So don't we realize that this benefit is something which is actually beneficial to us and not anybody else? It is a security. You see, there are hundreds of thousands of workers which travel to Singapore back and forth. Before this, because while you are traveling, see, while you're at work, you're covered. The protection is given to you and it's covered. But we look at the statistics. What happens when you are not at work? When you're from your workplace going back to your residence or your home? What about when from your home and you're going to your workplace? During that period of time, where is the coverage for you? That coverage is not provided, especially for workers which are going from Malaysia to Singapore and coming back from Singapore to Malaysia. Malaysians I'm talking about. So we are coming up with a coverage whereby they will also be protected. Because I don't think they should be victimized because they have to work in Singapore. Neither should they be victimized if there are some Malaysians who are living there who are coming to work here. So as long as you're Malaysian, I believe the same standards of safety, the same standards of care should be given to all.